People don't understand what's been done to them.
What the banks did was reprehensible. That was why there was the outrage of the greed of the bankers when we gave them money that was supposed to help them lend to others, but they decided to use that money to pay themselves bonuses. For what? For record losses?
We are governed by corporations today, often by corporations that don't have very much interest in the United States of America.
We are entering the age of consequence, a rapacious financial system, escalating organized violence, and the looming environmental fallout are all converging at a time when governments, religion, and mainstream economists have stalled. War, conquest, famine, and death. The four horsemen are coming.
My name's Paul.
My name's Andy.
And this is the Unpenned Show, Tuesday the 1st of July 2014. Every single Tuesday we find time to do this. No, every single Tuesday we can find time to do this. We do this, don't we? We've had a couple of weeks off.
We have.
And are we doing what the UK column does? No, we're not. No, we're not. No studio. No newspaper clips. We're not using the newspapers. We're not using other people's material to actually present to you a show that we want you to donate to us for.
No, we're not.
We don't want your money. We don't want your subscriptions. We don't want anything like that. We actually just do this because we've learned over the past couple of years that by sitting here and putting on this recording, it teaches us to present properly, and it keeps us clear-minded through the week.
Yeah.
Because we try and see things that we can share with others, which is what everybody is actually always doing. But the things that we see are intentionally put in our eyes. They're put in, exactly, a divert for the eyes and mind. You might sort of say to yourself, why are Google, Facebook, YouTube and everybody else, why are they so intensely competing to find out what we're thinking, what do we look forward to and what do we like? And it's real simple, because throughout your entire life, mine, yours, and probably everybody else's, I've never heard anybody else say different, they put things in front of our eyes that we're designed to desire. Temptation itself. And that's what the devil does. That's what the devil always does. He comes dressed as everything you've always wanted, and he's called temptation. Do you want it? You can have it now. Buy now, pay later. The devil's mantra, if ever there was one. And the advertisers, by golly, they've learned their trade over the past 100 years. Before then it was churches and newspapers, but today we've got a whole new set of talented diverts for the eyes and mind. They advertise us. They advertise us to us. Our entire lives they've put pictures of cars, girls, clothes, and a future that we're designed to desire. And they can provide it. And we make them rich and successful. And they in turn promise to do the same for us. And never deliver. No. They never deliver.
No.
All the things that they offer to us, we make for them. We never quite get the crack that we make it all. And then we have to buy it all.
We do.
Which bit do they do?
Great system, isn't it?
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish I'd
We
thought
make
of it.
it for £6.50 or whatever it is an hour in the UK, but then we have to buy it. It's like the clockmaker, isn't it? If you can make one clock a week, and that clock is worth, let's say, retail £1,000, but you've only been paid £300 or £400 for making the clock. But why would you be happy with that? Well, it's cleverer than that, isn't it? Because the parts of the clock come from all parts of the world.
They do.
And you can't make all parts of the clock, because you're not allowed to make all parts of the clock.
No.
Because you become an assembly person. So then you're grateful that the clock exists, not realising that your master, your controller, your employer, designed a whole business system around the world so you could never make the clock anymore.
Yeah.
All you could do was assemble it. You could make maybe a little bit of the clock,
Yeah,
but you couldn't make the rest of the clock.
and you need a license to build that clock.
Exactly. If you're going to copy it right, and you'll pay me a premium.
Yeah.
Do you see how it works?
Certainly, yeah.
That all our talents have been counterfeited, shared, and divided around the world, so we no longer can make the item from start to finish. So the skills to be able to make the item from start to finish are lost to us all.
They are.
So now we have to go to the IKEA world, where it's basically in flat pack, and all we have to do is do the final assembly. And the reason why it's in the final assembly, the final assembly isn't done, it's so you can afford it.
Yep.
It's not that the final assembly can't be done by a computer or a robot or technology, it's so you can afford it. It also annoys you to death, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Easy
yeah.
to pack as well. It's easier to transport. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you're listening, thank you for doing so. We don't actually worry whether you're listening or whether you're not. We don't worry if you just subscribe. We're not the slightest interested, really, whether you agree or disagree with us. Your comments, we do read them, but we don't actually worry too much about what you put in them. If they're interesting, we'll reply. If they're not, we probably won't. Started this week's show with the clip, The Four Horsemen. But isn't the Four Horsemen what we've always been on the edge of the cliff expecting to arrive? Doesn't religion actually exist? The edge of time, the end of time is coming. Isn't religion designed to make you think the world's going to end sometime soon?
Yeah.
And you best be in the right gang.
Yes.
So when the right guy comes back to save us, you're in the right gang.
You're in the right gang to be
Because
saved.
for all he forgives everybody, he's going to forgive you more and let the rest die.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Isn't that what we're doing here with the alternative news? Preaching the end of times. Preaching the rapture, the change, the end of days as we know them. It's just religion, but it's got a different presentation method.
Yeah.
They know that you won't go to their church, so they bring the altar, called the television or internet, into your house.
Yeah.
And they do it from your house. The advertisers put things in front of our eyes to lead us. They lead us down the paths they want us to go. We probably have never in our entire lives understood how important advertising is to them. They actually want to achieve a position where they know what we're going to want before we know we want it. Well, are we already there? I think we may have been there on some levels for quite some time. Do you?
I think we've passed that stop a while ago.
Well, we have. I mean, you look at the craziness that's going around. I mean, we've been doing this for a year or two now, and we do look and we keep in touch with what's going on Facebook and YouTube, and we see the cycles starting again and again and again, don't we? With the legalese, with the birth certificate, with the with the parking tickets.
Yeah.
We see people starting off.
We do, yeah.
And rather than criticise, we realise that that's where it
That's
starts.
the starting point.
And it looks like those people are trying to set off down the road of discovery.
Yes.
But some never get any further.
No.
And the reason they don't get any further is because they get to the point that's troubling them, which is usually that they have no money, and then join the club that says you don't need any.
Yes.
Because you've been born into a world, okay? And some part of this world that you've been born into, You're entitled to
It's
something.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah, it belongs to you.
You
You're a
don't have to do
sovereign.
anything for it. It's
That's
yours.
right. It's yours. You were just by being born. You've got rights and entitlements, and these are God-given rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inalienable rights.
Yeah.
And this fits in perfectly with I've got no money, I've got nothing, but I deserve something. So inalienable rights, unalienable rights, God-given rights. Well, first of all, do you believe in God? The chances are most people who are on this free lunch ride that never does deliver, this Meals on Wheels that doesn't exist, well, the chances are I don't believe in God. And then the other chances are that, okay, let's go down the line of this God fella. Do we have proof he exists? Well, no, but apparently he's spoken to a few people over the years, hasn't he?
Quite a few.
And that's proof enough, apparently.
Yes, yeah.
So, these God-given inalienable rights that are claimed by the poor people who haven't got a job or any money, who don't believe in God anyway, and spend all day being atheists. How stupid do they look? God-given rights. So God popped down with a pen and... No, he didn't, did he? It's a whole illusory system, isn't it?
It's whatever you'll buy into, isn't it?
It's whatever you'll buy into.
It is, and if you've no money to buy into it, then
you'll have to go for a free version.
You will go for
You'll have to go for a free version that promises you all the benefits, but you don't get them until you pay in.
I think there were a little clip of Murdoch saying, this NHS, it's the bargain basement, what can you expect?
Exactly. A walking stick, some reading glasses, and some antidepressants or painkillers. That's what you're getting. Anything else, you're bloody paying for it.
And I'm one of those, I can't afford to go, and there's a few instances at the moment where I've advised people, look, you might need to just go get some private healthcare, go get a second opinion, and there's people as young as 32 here that they're saying you might have got cancer. I'm saying you might have got cancer. No, come on, they know whether you've got cancer or not. Come on, this is a fobbing off thing. And I'm unfortunately telling people to just sometimes you might need a second opinion. Come on, you've got to have the courage to ask for a second opinion. And this is where they've got us. Well, they've got us where we believe everything we're told.
Well, the problem is white coats, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, the men in white coats are coming to take us away.
Without a doubt.
Now, we thought that was something that we said when we were younger, okay, was for mad people. You know, the crazy lunatics.
Yeah.
The dinghies, as we used to call them. Dinghies, remember dinghies? Yeah. Them dinghies that you only had one paddle and you went round and round in circles. Remember dinghies?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they were called dinghies. But the white men in coats are well, what are we? Have we got one paddle and we're going round and round circles? Well, I look on Facebook and YouTube and listen to and watch what they're all up to. The answer is yes. We keep doing the same thing. I would take no convincing at all that this system is a balance between good and evil.
Yeah.
And the people who want to blame somebody else for their misfortune, I'm saying misfortune or dysfortune or unfortune or no fortune, they want to blame somebody else. And this system allows you to do that. You can look into the birth certificate, you can look into the national insurance number, your social securitized number. You can blame the entire system for basically everything. But why? Why would you blame that system? It's never been hidden from you. The country is obviously run as a business because the government, albeit that they run it at a loss, which they pass to us on behalf of the banking system. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's ran as a business.
UK PLC.
Exactly. And every business is a subsidiary of UK PLC. The courts, the councils, and the hospitals, they're all ran as businesses, and they have to report to head office how things are going.
Yep.
So, for anyone to be shocked that the UK PLC is a business is just naive and gullible. Okay, please don't be shocked. You should have figured that out before someone told you, and you should have not be shocked when somebody did tell you. So thereby, you are an employee. You are an employee, and if you put in, you're entitled to rights and benefits back out. Now, I know the system really doesn't want to give you these rights and benefits back out because it's run out of money.
It has, yeah.
The only way the government can grow is coming up with new ideas and new ways to steal off those that still have.
Still have got some, yeah.
We understand all these things. But please don't think we're sticking up for the system, but we're trying to get people who think the system is to blame for their problems to actually look in the mirror and say, yeah, okay.
Shift yourself up.
If you think the system is to blame for your problems, all right. Now what you're going to do about it? You're going to shout at the system? If you're not putting in, the system's not listening. So do you think I'm advocating to continue the system we've got? No. But I'm asking you to be realistic. The few people that listen to us, and the few people that go to meetings, and the few people that get together and talk about a world that could be created have no power, position, or possession to be able to do that.
We don't know.
Okay? This is just storytelling for children. Right, you have to deal with what's in front of you. The world has never ever hidden what it is, how it works, and what it does. We just wanted to blame somebody on the way in, didn't we? Once we've got the way in and we're in now, we understand how it works a lot better than we used to. Now we accept the world is built by those who wanted to build it. Now, this is the bit that gets me, is that the people who say, I'm not going to get a job, I'm not going to join the working slaves, all credit to you. Live on your own money. Be independent. If you're not doing that, shut up. Because you're living a lie. You are a liar to yourself, you're a liar to your friends. I've asked two people directly, whose names I will not mention, but the people that we all recognise, how do you survive? And they refuse to tell me. They refuse to tell me how they survive. I challenge and say, whose money are you surviving on? And they will not reply. They say, it doesn't matter. What does that matter? The reason is because they know deep down that
it does matter.
That you're already broken, that you're a slave, and what you have to say is of no relevance or importance, because no one's bloody listening. Because how on earth can you think that you have a right, a self-righteous bloody approach to life where you do nothing, produce nothing, have nothing, and are skillless, can tell those who have and do what to do? And but I know I'm right, but I know I'm right. No, you don't know you're right, but you won't accept you're wrong. This is where everybody falls, isn't it? I have found this, I have found that, I have done this. No, you haven't. No, you found the stuff that was there for you to find, to allow you to live a life on somebody else's income. So you can sit on the sofa and be a self-righteous, pointless nobody. The Freeman movement. What a cracking set of people who continually try and sell you a life without paying. They continually try and sell you a free lunch. They continually try to continue telling you that you have been scammed. You have not been scammed. Okay? You've just not been told. The reason why you've not been told is because you're not smart enough to learn how it works.
Questions,
You're not smart enough to learn how it works. That's what's going on here, isn't it? That's what's happened with people.
It is. That's what we've realised,
Everybody we've met along the way, the people we get along with, work and do. The people we don't get along with, don't work and don't do. And they talk the most, don't they?
They seem to.
They have the most to say. Now, I know we'll lose some subscribers, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because it's about time that the 1- and 2-year-olds that we have to encounter learned how this really works.
And the path it takes you down, we were talking about this earlier. What brings you into it? And I've said before, and we've said before, I went into the UFOs and things like that, and then it takes you down the Bushes and the Blairs and all this, and the New World Order, and then it
the
takes
reptiles
you
and stuff like that, all the reptile stuff,
and then it takes you into the legalese and your birth certificate and all this, that, and the other. And we've done our apprenticeship. We've been there. We've done that. We've seen it happen.
It's a YouTube awakening.
It is. It's and We've gone away and read some books as well, though, haven't we? In the time we've said switch that off, read a few books, and the books say the same thing: the Darwins, the eugenics, and all. And all it's saying is you've you've got the chance. The information's out there. You've got the chance to do that. Now, I know, and I've said this myself, it's not always about what you know. It's who you know as well. We were on about that earlier, about networking. And would I had an opportunity to join the Masons. And would I have joined 20 years ago? Yes, I would. I would have seen it for what it was, and rubbing shoulders with the right people, and doing favours in the right place.
Yeah, but we have to accept that this is how it works.
Yes, and probably got compromised a little bit, and you know, but yeah, you realise, but I didn't have the life experience then.
But then you come to the conclusion, if you go down that path, that the people who follow all the rules are the fools.
Yes.
So rules are for fools. So rules and schools and fools and tools are the pools that we can keep, okay, under control.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've been taught to follow the rules is English through and through.
Yes, yeah.
Right, so we make them follow the rules, and then we actually don't.
And the analogy we were talking about earlier was when I went on holiday with the kids the first couple of times, and because you go with a tour operator, and you think they're in charge of everything and they're going to look after you until you come home, and until you're on holiday and it all goes wrong and you realise they don't. And the only thing that happened, that we dropped off at a hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning, and because of the language barrier, the lady behind the reception desk said we weren't booked in at that hotel. Ended up at some other hotel on the middle of a main street with 2 kids in the middle of the night, trying to get them to sleep with scooters tearing up and down and noise of the bars and everything. And if I'd have known what I'd known now, and I just said to the lady, I'd have leant over the desk, got the list, and gone, can I just have a look for my name on the list?
Yep.
And we ended up coming from that hotel that we'd gone to with the noise and everything back down to the original hotel that we were meant to stay in, and they said, oh yeah, you were meant to be here.
And there be the language problems.
Exactly.
If we could all communicate, then the chances of them holding the solution together would be a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
There is a global awakening, there's no doubt about it. There is a global awakening to how it works. Be excited by all means.
Yeah.
But it's engineered. It's been engineered by YouTube.
It is.
And nobody's asking the question, why is it being engineered by YouTube? Right now, and you say, no, it's not. It's us taking control of the internet. It's us flooding the internet with the information that we can now share with each other, which we could never share before. So, okay, I partly agree with that. I do partly agree that you and I have learned considerably quicker than we could have done alone, home, without the internet.
Exactly, yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But there is something else, and that is that you have to conclude that the books we have access to and the information we have access to, could be censored.
Yeah.
Now, people would say, it is being censored now, it is being censored now. I agree. I do agree. But if you go onto Amazon and put books about the New World Order, right, you'll find a whole page of recommendations. So, you know, we
How
have to...
secret is it then? And the Masons, you put in the Masons as well. I think I've done that as well.
Yep.
Secrets of the Masons, it all comes up. The handshakes, the rings, the jewellery and everything you can buy.
So what that does tell us is that the system is not all controlling.
No.
Or it tells us the system doesn't mind us knowing these things. Now, I'm actually on the second point. The system doesn't mind us knowing these things. And the reason why I actually conclude that is that after all these years, you and I have been doing this. You said to me about 4 years ago, on a Sunday morning, about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, you were on your way down, on your holidays, you're on your way down to Devon or Cornwall or somewhere.
We were, yeah.
And
I
you
had to call in.
And you called in from a sat-nav or something, was it? Was it a sat-nav?
No, I just had to call in and sit. I'd been
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I'd been thinking through the evening and the night and not slept very much as well because things going through my head. I thought, I must go and see Paul in the morning.
What did you tell me? What did you tell me?
I can't remember it word for word, but it was screwed. I think it was.
There's no way out.
No way out of this.
That's what you said. There's no way
out of this.
We have to fight from within.
Yeah.
for the first couple of years, you and I had figured out how to get out. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
How can we get out? How can we set up a new system? How can we challenge the system? How can we show people that there is a fairer and a fairer way for everybody to join in?
Mm-hmm.
We did that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but it gets you over the first couple of years.
Yes.
Then you learn there isn't actually an alternative. There is no alternative. You can build a wigwam and go live in the woods and wee in the river.
Yeah. Until somebody evicts you.
Until somebody says this is my land. Because we have a very strange series of events that people say, when I was born, I deserve something.
Mm-hmm.
Just by being born, I have inalienable rights, and I have things that I can expect to be given to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is rubbish.
It is. Yeah.
If those rights were given to everybody over a period of a long, long time, then everything that could be said to be deserving to you has been taken by somebody else.
Yeah. Well,
in other words, it's a system of trickle-down sharing.
Yeah.
Well, it gets to a point where trickle-down sharing stops. Because, unfortunately, you only get what you deserve.
Fight for your right. Fights and rights don't fit together for...
and might.
Yeah.
And light. It's all linked together.
They do. Those
sight, light, might,
group
fight.
the words.
Group the words
Yeah.
together, and you'll find out why they live together. We are only 72 years here if we're lucky.
We are.
And you and I only started learning about how it really works after a lifetime of experience.
Yes, yeah.
And what's been denied to younger people is a lifetime
It's
of
a lifetime.
experience.
It is.
Because you and I can have an opinion on things that we can't do, but it's not really of any value, is it?
No.
We can have an opinion on things that we don't really know much about,
No.
which means it has no real value. The only opinions that we can actually attach value to is what we've experienced. So experience is what matters, and the experiences we've been subjected to, our successes, our failures, everything we've done is who we are, and everything else is of no relative value. We can't comment on what it's like to have children, not give birth. I can't comment on what it's like to fly a plane.
No.
I can't comment on what it's really like to be a prison officer.
No.
Because I don't know. All I know is what I've done and how I got here.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Experience.
But we have done some things that make us the same, you and I. Motorbikes,
Yeah.
girlfriends, houses,
Yeah.
marriage, kids,
Yeah.
cars,
Similar thoughts.
self-employed,
in jobs. Yeah.
similar jobs.
Yeah.
So and successes and failures
Along the way.
and money and loss.
Yes.
We've done it all.
We
Some
have.
we've won, some we've lost.
Yeah.
But we've played the roller coaster, the wheel of fortune, and that's all there is to play.
Yeah.
It is the casino itself. Is the gambles you're prepared to take.
Yeah.
And if you always do what you've always done,
Yeah.
you'll always stay where you've always been.
Yeah.
But you have to do something different to move forwards. Now the advertisers make you think you're moving forward, don't they?
They do, yeah.
They say, I mean, this is where the brilliant things come in. I remember a girl. She set off shopping to Leeds, 8:30 a.m. Saturday morning. I'm going shopping because we had somewhere to go a week or two later. It was my sister's engagement party actually, and then the subsequent wedding. She was going shopping. 4:45 the same Saturday. Back. 3 designer bags in one hand. 3 designer bags in the other hand. Wandered down the hallway. Plonked the bags on the kitchen table. And the first words out of her mouth, I have saved a fortune. And women believe that. They actually believe that they've saved a fortune. Isn't that what we're all doing with the advertisers? Buy this and your life will be better.
Yep.
Buy this aftershave, you'll be more attractive. Watch this and you'll be more successful. Enroll in this and you'll... It's all about... They put in front of us the windows of the world that they want us to be attracted to. It's a lead. We might as well have a collar and a lead on. And that's why the advertisers who put things in front of our eyes want to continue doing so. We don't see it like that. We see it as we choose what we do. But we don't. we choose what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah,
big
we choose
corporations,
what's on offer.
yeah, we can't design it ourselves.
No.
We choose what's on offer. And they listen and learn, and they give us things that they know we're going to want. How come we keep buying new cars? How come each car and its shape is more attractive than the model we've got, when the model we've got was the most attractive? Why do they do that? How do they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know more about us than we know about ourselves.
Yeah.
Because when a guy looks at a car, he has to find it attractive. It has to be desirable to him. Now, when a girl buys a car, she has, in many ways, the same requirements, but there's some other things that a girl buys a car for. It's not just the colour and the feminine look to it. It has to be more practical inside as well. But a guy buys a car on desire, if he's lucky enough to be able to. And that's how this world really works. It's a never-ending series of temptations and illusions that you think will validate your life, because you think the more stuff I've got, the more successful I'm going to be. This is about the richest guy in the graveyard, and that's who you're determined to be. Are you wrong? Well, it doesn't matter what I say, because really, in the old world that we don't know much anymore, guy met girl, and their job was to complement each other, to build a life together, and to actually provide for their children.
Yeah.
And all my mum wanted to do in her last 20 years or whatever, was to build up something that she could leave for us. That's all she wanted to do. She would have been horrified if she couldn't die leaving the kids something.
Yeah.
And the idea is that we use it wisely, and wisely means keep out of debt. It means don't spend it on things you don't need. Use it to keep yourself out of debt, because that debt chain is what slows you down. It's the ball and chain, it's the anchor that you have to drag around, isn't it?
It is.
And every parent, you know, if every parent thought like that, things would be different. But the advertisers have hijacked it. Now we've got the skiers, haven't we? Spend the kids' inheritance. Let them struggle. Let them find their own way. It's different.
And there's, to some extent, is there anything wrong with that, really? Because
I don't know. If
you hand it all on a plate to them, it makes it. They think it just comes and easy come, easy go.
That's how you brought them up, though, isn't it? It's how you brought them up, my friend. It's you see, if you could live a life without debt, if you had no debt in your entire life, in other words, your parents engineered it so you had a house that was paid for. Let's just say they did.
Yeah.
And they gave you an amount of money that was, let's say 25 grand, just for fun. They had 25 grand, and that was your rainy day money. Okay, that you couldn't spend. I mean, rainy day money means when you really need it. Then, how much different would life have been?
Yeah, a lot different, really.
Well, of course,
a lot easier. Yeah.
Well, what would you have made? Would you have made your kids' lives easier?
Yeah.
Now would you have spoiled them?
I probably would. Yeah.
But would you spoil them now? No, you wouldn't. Would you? See different now?
No. I know everything that we had. We struggled for. We struggled. Well, we struggled to put them through private school from them being. Lewis was 3, Kate was 5, up until we'd been 11. Hoping that would give them a better start in life. But we worked hard for that. But paying a mortgage and paying a car loan and all those kind of things. But those things made me the person that I am today.
So you're advocating that we should all have to go through that period of time of going without to learn the value of life?
Yes, I'm not. I'm with you on the. It'd be nice if we had the cushion.
There is no solution to this.
There isn't.
We're talking about the father and son cycle here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're talking about the father and son cycle, where the father is successful, so his son eventually doesn't have to be as successful.
Yeah.
Which is the downfall of the family, the downfall of the business.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is I'm playing advocate with you here.
Of course, I know.
You see what I mean by that?
I know exactly what
you build
doing,
and build until one time the son doesn't have to be as successful as his father.
Exactly.
And then the corner's turned.
Then
right, the
fall comes.
The fall becomes,
You've
what's
risen
right
to what you
so
are.
So what's right?
Exactly.
How can you avoid that circle? How can you avoid that circle cycle?
Yeah.
You build it up until you've got what you need, and then your son says, "I don't have to try as hard."
Yeah.
And now the fall.
So the fall begins.
So what's right?
Yeah.
How can you avoid that? Well, the answer is you probably can't.
No, each generation has got to make their own mistakes, haven't they?
But then how can we move forward?
But how? Yeah. Let me just see if I can explain it. If the natural scenario for me would have been, and this is right from being with my grandparents, and my granddad had his own business, but he had a council house. He never owned his own house, and that even wasn't his own house. He shared it with my nan's parents, so he shared it with the in-laws. They had one side of the house, my nan and granddad the other side. But he was out and about building houses for people. He built bungalows and
you told me this. He was
five-bedroom
building houses that he was never going to live in.
He was building houses for people that were never going to live in, but he was happy with his lot. He was happy with what he'd got and what he'd achieved, and he could go out for a pint, and he was in no debt. That's the thing I didn't get. He was in no debt. He had the council house. He didn't have a mortgage. We had a nice car to go around in, and I learnt to drive in a Citroen CX Palace 2.5 litre car.
I remember those.
And
they were big.
It was a big car, and I was the envy.
You could get 2 mattresses in the back of that.
I was the envy of the posh kids at school, and one of the posh kids said to me, "How do you afford that on a council estate?" But I helped contribute towards the car. My granddad was teaching us a lesson.
They used to lift up, didn't they?
They did,
You had to wait till the suspension lifted.
We did, yeah. We tried it in its lowest position on the motorway once, thinking it was like a Formula 1 car. You know, when you lower it right down. And it
was about a 3-ton brick.
It frightened the life out of us. We lost steering and brakes and everything. Soon got it. But it was good fun. But it did learn me a lesson that sharing, we shared in the vehicle. So we were allowed to take it out at the weekends. I'd take my girlfriend out in it, and the wife as well that I'm with now. She says I didn't impress her with the car, but I'm sure she did. I'm sure I did. They were part of the car.
They were massive, weren't they?
Yeah, they were massive.
They were like
cars.
Speedboats on wheels.
They were, yeah. But then when I started to get married, we soon realised that we had to start saving money. The only way you could get a mortgage then with the building society was if you had money saved with them.
You had to be a trusted saver.
You had to be a saver, yeah. And we saved up £2,000, I remember, in a very short period of time. And my granddad always said, "What do you want to buy a house? Why don't you just come and live here and then apply for a council house and we'll get you a..." But we didn't want that. That isn't what we wanted. As a couple, that isn't what we wanted. We aspired for something more. And I'm not saying that was wrong, and I'm not saying it was right. That's the
a nation of homeowners is what they decided we were going to be in the 80s.
Back to the advertising.
You and I lived in that time.
Yes, yeah.
We were going to be a nation of homeowners, and Thatcher herself said that the
wealth of the nation would
the rewards would cascade down through the generations.
They would.
We'd always own homes.
We would.
And lying toads. But were they lying toads?
No,
nah,
she didn't say who would own them.
But she also didn't say that Mr. Temptation would come in.
Yes.
You see, the devil's called Mr. Temptation.
It is,
yeah. And he's called use it as a money box. Use it as a money box.
But coming back to what would I have done now, right? If I'm sure we're not going to pay this house off. In fact, I've told my kids, you're probably going to end up carrying on the debt because that's the way things seem to be going.
It does.
That they will take on the mortgage because we'll never pay it off.
Correct.
So we've got life insurance policies and things like that in place. Hopefully we do. But this is the scenario that I would have done if it was me. I would have put the cushion away, and I would have said to my kids, right, there's a lump sum of money here that's been put away. We're not telling you how much has been put away, but there's some money here that should we die, you will be taken care of. But you cannot have that until you've achieved and you're earning and you are self-sufficient and you can afford to live by yourself or with a partner. And into that, I would have said that you've followed the path of paying your bills. Mm-hmm. Pay your bills. As long as you're earning enough money to pay your bills and live within your means. That's what I would have said. If you've got a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom and a garden, and that's all you need. Don't be aspiring for the swimming pool and all this kind of thing, and the cinema room and all this. As long as you can go to sleep on a night and you can sleep soundly and you can wake up in the morning and you have food in your belly, and then this cushion is there, and that's how I would, if it was a perfect scenario for me, as you said, a rainy day situation.
You see, what you've said, or what I've heard you say is, how much is enough?
How much is enough, yes.
And then once you accept how much is enough, be happy with that.
Yes.
You see, I remember saying years ago, I think the secret to happiness is to stop wanting. I think it is. It's actually stop wanting stuff. Enjoy what you've got. And don't worry about other people.
Well,
because they're going to be jealous of you.
The friends thing.
Because if you're out of debt,
yeah,
if you're saving a bit more than you're spending, and if you're doing things, because the best things in life are free, we all know that. The best things in life really are free.
Saying that, yeah,
we've just forgotten that.
We have, yeah.
We seem to think we have to validate ourselves by going on holiday and
exactly
spend an awful lot of money in another country. Now, I'm not knocking that because I enjoy doing that.
I enjoy doing
it
yes.
enormously.
I'm
not knocking it.
I still talk about it now.
But you question the sanity of it eventually. Because all we're really chasing is sunshine.
But the life experience as well. What I enjoyed about going on holiday was the culture shock.
Yeah.
The absolute culture shock.
I agree with it entirely.
And the annoying thing I got was the realisation when you got home was you were going with money and paying people that didn't have that money, and they were looking to you to fulfil their dream. And I'm talking about the waitresses and the bar workers.
I'm going back to Egypt. My last holiday was Egypt.
And the people peddling the things at the seaside.
They were telling me
the little trinkets.
They were telling me their monthly salary
as the price,
It was 20 quid. It was 20 quid.
And
I said, how much does the teacher get paid in Egypt? 40 quid a month. And here we were pulling out 40 quid and more.
Yeah.
Buying drinks.
And
we must have looked like millionaires.
We did. And
you can see how they're so. They showed me, the lesson that I learned was how poor people act around rich people. And this has been mirrored throughout times itself.
Yeah.
From servants quarters through to the meetings and balls that people go to now. I mean, I once said a line out a few weeks ago that they actually have got us by the balls.
Yes, they have.
But all the types
go to balls.
Exactly. The parties that you go to, the meetings, the associations,
the networking, rubbing shoulders. Yeah,
and that's exactly what it is. You watch Eyes Wide Shut. That's probably as close as you're going to get.
It is good film. Yeah,
probably as close as you're going to get to how this actually works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I know the people in our little groups really don't see the bigger picture in a way they should see the bigger picture. They actually see the bigger picture they want to exist.
Exactly.
And refuse to really focus on the one that does exist.
That does exist, yes.
You know, I really say that they should be put in a helicopter, flown round London itself, land back wherever it came from, and say, now do you see how big the interest is in money? Now do you see, while your versions of what could be a new money system are never going to take root.
No, not while that exists.
Because
and getting rid of it, you've no chance.
The new religion is going to be spirituality and Mother Earth. That is the new religion. And here at our level that we mix with people, they are really pushing it, aren't they? Mother Earth and spirituality.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with those two things, except it's don't fight. Accept,
yeah. It is, and we were talking about that earlier. That the martyrs did that, didn't they?
Yeah,
we martyred them, and they died for.
They said the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
This is rubbish.
They were put to death.
This is rubbish.
Burnt at the stake.
I mean, we are led to believe that we are living in very special times. We couldn't be living in a more exciting time in history. Correct, if you're aware of it, because history's been made every single day. And we are part of understanding history has been made every single day.
Yep.
Are we at the edge of the money system? Max Kaiser will tell you for the third or fourth time in his career, yes, we are. Is it going to be the end of life as we know it? Every preacher's been telling you that for a long time. Mm-hmm. Is life going to change in a way that most of us won't adapt? Now, there's something that is coming along. Because, look, we're not adapting. The education system is making a lot of dumb people. Because it doesn't need smart people.
No.
It doesn't need half of the people that it's got.
No, it just needs people to flip burgers.
It really does. And that's why the foreigners are coming in.
Yeah.
The invasion that's been underway now for almost 50, 60 years, they'll do it cheapest. Mm-hmm. In all our shows, all we've ever done is said, guys and girls, face reality. Mm-hmm. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Stop pretending there's another way. There isn't another way. Not until you challenge this one. Mm-hmm. People say politics, that they're not interested in politics. But that's what controls your life.
Yeah.
You should be interested in politics. What's the best way to actually make a difference in politics? I'll tell you the best way to make a difference in politics is to infiltrate an existing party. If we really had any brains about us, we'd actually say we should go and infiltrate UKIP. We should go and take it over. Because they do say things that we're happy with, but there are some things that we're not. Mm-hmm. But forget the bits we're not. Because you're not going to win this fight with all boxes ticked. If you want control of your future, and you want out of Europe, then why don't we all infiltrate UKIP and make them do it? Oh, I'm not doing that. What are you doing then?
Yeah, waiting for something else.
You're waiting for something else? You're going to go on the internet tomorrow and find out what else it is that you could be doing? There is a little one of these little mood boards that you find on Facebook. It says, small people talk about other people. And so-and-so talk about ideas or something, and so-and-so talk about politics or whatever, and so-and-so talk about ideas. And every time I want to write below that, like talking ever changed anything. You bloody cowards. The fourth point should be, and some people just do it.
Yeah. It should.
Because just doing it
quietly
is what
get
we just
on with it.
Yeah, some people just get on with it. And those who can't talk about it.
I know. I've been one of those that's just quietly got on with it.
That's why we get on together. We've just finished 9-10 hard days refitting the shop.
Yeah.
And you and I and two others who are our friends.
Yes.
They weren't unknown people, but all four of us are good friends.
Yeah.
We got through it.
Yes, we did.
Got through it. Heated.
Yeah. Yes.
Heated at times. A little bit of pressure. But we got through it. And publicly, I'd like to say, actually, out of all the people you were the one that were determined it was going to open on time.
I was pushing.
You were determined it was going to open on time. I was pushing, but you were determined.
I was, yeah.
So
I
publicly,
I wanted you back open.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
it was
you're welcome. I enjoyed
it. Was an experience, though, wasn't it? It was bloody hard.
Yeah. I got quite emotional at the end where I shook your hand. I thought,
it was. It was a fair ride.
I nearly had a tear or two.
Let's come back in a minute. It sounds like it's a live show, but it's pre-recorded.
It is.
We're going to have a beer. I'll play a little link in between, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Tell you something. Yeah. I'm going to give you 48 years of study. I'm going to give you a secret. Okay. Nothing in this world is what you think it is. Nothing operates the way you think it does.
What do you mean?
Nothing operates the way you think it does.
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh, I love this song!
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when we're part of the team. Everything is awesome. And we're living our dream.
Always use a turn signal. Park between the lines. Yes! Drop off dry cleaning before noon. Read the headlines. Don't forget to smile. Always root for the local sports team.
Go sports team!
Always return a compliment. Hey, you look nice.
So do you.
Drink overpriced coffee.
There you go. That's $37.
Everything is awesome, apparently. From the Lego movie, then. I did like a little bit of a different clips there, wasn't it?
They were, yeah.
Because that is the word of the moment, isn't it? Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome Wells. We were talking there, actually, while we were just setting up for this second and our little last bit. We were talking there about, as parents, which is the ultimate joy, I think.
Should be.
It's not easy, but what else is that what we're here for?
Yeah.
We're here to reproduce ourselves,
We are.
but that's changing now, isn't it? We're not really... We don't see it as that anymore, do we?
No, the future's clones, isn't it?
We've been making clothes for a while.
We have for a while,
but
yeah.
You know, if we look forward in the next sort of between now and the end of this century, I don't think we're going to be having kids at all in the normal way. I think we're going to be asking permission.
Yeah.
And we'll be ordering designer children. In other words, will women be having children? I don't suspect so. I suspect they'll be made for us, and we'll be able to sponsor them and take them out and take them away for weeks and that sort of thing. We'll become
get an update every week.
We'll become
picture of
guardians
them.
and that sort of thing.
Postcard from them and stuff.
A bit like you adopt dogs now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and donkeys.
There's a rabbit in there somewhere. Isn't there? that donkey's made of a rabbit, isn't it? There's definitely a rabbit in there somewhere. Is that we getting across a rabbit and a pony or whatever? I don't know. There definitely looks... Anyway, by the by. Parents, I think we both accept that to some extent we failed in that department in a way that we didn't know what we know now.
No.
So therefore, the parent that we could have been, we weren't because we didn't bloody well
we didn't
know.
know.
This is the fall of this, the drawback to all this.
Kids don't come with a manual, though, do they?
Well, they could, though.
But
they sort of could.
A previous manual that should have been rewritten.
But we have kids now who think that they deserve something just by being kids.
Yeah.
We've got adults that do that as well, haven't we?
Unfortunately, we have,
that
yes.
They just deserve something because they're here.
Yeah.
And that's due to the social welfare system, the safety net system that is making that happen.
Yeah.
Now, a free lunch isn't really a free lunch because it's taxpayers' money, isn't it? It's our money that's there. And it's actually really clever because we're a country of 60-odd million people, and we look out of this window here, and we've talked about this evening. All the houses we can see are full of, well, pretty much working-class people.
Yeah.
Some working and some not.
Yeah.
Some class and some not. But it's all quiet.
It is.
However, it's been engineered.
The cohesion exists.
Yeah, everyone's okay with this moment in time. As long as the TV's on, the electric's on, and we've got a bottle of beer
and
or a
the
bottle of
stuff on
wine.
the supermarket shelves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are actually okay.
Yeah.
In the little place that we live, peace is evident. Because of the safety net.
Yes.
Do you think that safety net's going to be around forever?
No.
No. The Tories are Mr. Well, the dark IDS himself. Just today, he's saying that under 25s shouldn't get the dole.
No.
If you're not working, shouldn't get the dole. Should go on to government trained schemes, working for charities and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They should get your money, and they'll decide what to do
they'll
with you.
decide what to do with it then. Yeah.
Now, I don't have an opinion that is matters on this, apart from you being told.
Yeah.
If you don't actually learn a skill and find a job for yourself, then one will be found for you. Now, this is how we speak to children, isn't it?
Yes.
This is how we deal with our kids.
That's what we
But,
said to.
if
said
you
to our
don't
son.
do as you're told,
Yeah.
I'll make you do it. And if you don't do it, there'll be no pocket money.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is where we're approaching, isn't it? You know, do parents really say these things to the kids? Because I remember in my day, all we could hear was, well, what do we do and where do we go? You know, there was no... It was like, it was the community's job to entertain us.
Yeah.
But we found that we did it ourselves anyway.
Yeah, we entertained ourselves.
But over the years now, it's like the kids are the way they are because we don't provide them with the things that they need. But this cannot be true. Because it wasn't true in my lifetime.
No.
And it wasn't true in your lifetime.
No, it definitely wasn't.
So this is the kids blaming, and the parents, blaming other people for their kids' faults. And if you look into this, I mean, Words for Teenagers, this is on my Facebook page, which will be below this YouTube video that we turn it into tomorrow. Do we agree or disagree with Words for Teenagers by Northland College principal John Unpenned? He offered the following advice when dealing with kids. And his answer was to kids and the problems they cause was go home, mow the lawn, wash the windows, learn to cook, build a raft, get a job, visit the sick, study your lessons, and after you've finished, read a book. Your town does not owe you recreational facilities, and your parents do not owe you fun. The world does not owe you a living. You owe the world something. You owe it your time, energy, and talent, so that no one will be at war, in sickness and lonely again. In other words, grow up, stop being a crybaby, get out your dream world, and develop a backbone, not a wishbone. Start behaving like a responsible person. You are important, and you are needed. It's not too late. It's too late to sit around and wait for someone to do something. Someday is now, and somebody is you. What do you reckon to that advice?
Spot on.
That's exactly what we've been talking about for the past 2 years, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yeah.
We are being told in no uncertain terms, put some value into yourself and get on with living.
Yeah.
Moaning, whinging, whining, and mooching about and doing nothing is for dead people.
Yeah.
That's why you are called dead people.
Yeah.
Because you don't do anything.
A little bit of that goes with my son. He got to the sixth form in school, and he decided he didn't want to go sixth form anymore. He did the first year of sixth form, so he did his AS levels, is it, or something? He didn't go on to do his full A levels. And he turned around and said, "I don't want to go to school in that," which I could understand myself because he'd been there from 3-year-old, and 3-year-old was too young. And I don't care about these people that say, "Oh, kids should be in school at blah blah blah." No,
the state's having them though. It's having them at 2.
3-year-old was too young
to
go to school. He was straight into learning. My daughter Kate, she started at 5 years old. But anyway, yeah. The point that I'm making is he came to that decision, and we sat down in the living room. And I remember we saying to him, we said, "Right, what are you going to do? Because you're not sitting around here just playing computer games all day and doing nothing."
So you're mirroring what we've just spoke about.
Just mirroring what was, and we said, "What are you going to do?
Yep.
You're going to have to get your ass out of here, and you're going to have to get a job.
Yep.
Contribute
to the family. Yeah.
Get out into the real world and earn a living." And I said, "It's either that or it's college or university or whatever." And now he didn't want to go to university, so he went up to the local Morrison's and he got a job in Morrison's.
He did, I remember that.
And he stuck it for about 2 years. And he got in all sorts of trouble because he booked holidays, and then the management turned around and said, you can't have these holidays because somebody else has had a holiday. And he got annoyed with that, so he said, "I'm going on holiday anyway," so he went on holiday. So when he got back off his holidays, he got called into the office. "Why weren't you in work?" "Oh, I were off sick," blah, blah. And to cut a long story short, he got sick of it. And he said, "Right, I'm packing that in." He came home and he said, "I've had enough of Morrison's." I said, "Right, fine, what are you going to do?" And he says, "I'm not sure yet, I'll find something." And what he did was, he came and worked for me for a little bit, odd times, but that wasn't enough to keep him going because I'd only just enough work for myself. But what he did do, it made him into a decision that he fancied being an electrician. So I said, "Right, fine, go find some work with an electrician." And one of the people in the band that he was with as well, his dad or his granddad had an electrician's business. And he came home and he said, "I'm going to go work as an electrician." I said, "Right, fine." And he said, "I'm going to work with me mate's dad." And I said, "Right, fine." And he said, "But he can't afford to pay me." And I said, "Good." So I said, "At least you'll be getting some experience. At least he's taking you to work with you. Get with him, learn the ropes. It doesn't matter about earning money at the moment, just get some experience." That's what he did. And it was hard for him, and eventually the guy that he was working for said, "You're working so hard, Lewis." He said, I can't not pay you." So he started to pay him a little bit in cash, and then that led to Lewis going to the local college and saying, "Right, I want to get on the electrician's course at college." And the colleges will not take you on as an apprentice plumber, electrician, joiner, unless you're working in the industry. Now then, he wasn't working in the industry, but the guy that he was working for said, right, if you want to go to college, I'll say you're working for me, but you're not. I'm not paying you. I can't afford to have you on the books. I'll say you're working for me, but you've got to pay your own college fees. And he said, right, deal. And that's what he did. And 3 years down the line, he's qualified electrician.
He's grown up, hasn't he? I remember meeting your son when he was at the I don't know what I'm doing stage.
Yes.
And we've spoken about it privately, about your frustrations at trying to get him motivated.
Yes.
But it got there in the end.
It did.
Took him a little longer, though. The time scale was different, the age range was different, wasn't it?
Because we're making them children longer.
We're making them softer.
We are.
We're making them softer. They never really want to leave home.
No.
Even when they leave home, they come back with a bloody wash and they come back with the problems, the bank of mum and dad. But this wasn't the done thing years ago, was it?
That wasn't the done deal.
Over the past 20, 30 years, it has been. The bank of mum and dad, they bring you washing home. I live on my own, but everybody else does something. I've got a cleaner and a cook and a whatever. Yeah. It's all illusion. We're becoming less than, aren't we? This learned helplessness applies to everything we do.
Yeah.
Because all these wonderful gadgets that we buy and all these wonderful advances in technology make our lives easier.
They do.
But we have to pay for these advances.
Yeah.
So we get more time, but we have to pay for the advance. So we don't have more time because we have to work harder. My little chip shop, it's opening later and later and later. We've been here since 87. I've been actually running this chip shop on my own since 2002. I can tell you now, in nearly 30 years I've been here, 27 as you can see, in 27 years I've been here, the chip shop in 87, 88, 89, 1991 that my mum run, I used to help out with because I was in the fire service, we couldn't really get a customer for tea after about 6:20. So we'd put the kettle on and have a cup of coffee. By about 6:30 we'd had a cup of coffee and it was time to start cleaning the shop and preparing to close. And we really did not expect to get any customers really between 6:30 and 7. Maybe 3, maybe 4. But they were late customers. Let's fast forward now to 2014. What time does my shop shut tonight? 8:30.
8:30, yeah.
8:30. It's not designed to be up to 8:30, but tonight, 8:30.
There were people wanting feeding.
And they came for the tea at 8:30. Whereas 27 years ago, tea was done by 6:20.
Yeah.
So the day has elongated for some people by 2 hours.
Yeah. Amazing.
We're paying a heavy price.
We are.
For our advances in technology. We live in the same style houses with the same style cars, driving on the same roads, doing the same jobs, getting paid an awful lot less than we used to. But we still think we're advancing forward.
And the only difference is we've got double glazing and central heating.
And gas bills that are quadrupled, yeah.
Yes, I know. But that links in with the other little clip that you've got on your Facebook.
Yeah,
there.
who are kids looking up to?
Yes. And it says there, and it's from Joe of the Roberts family. You introduced me to Joe. I think he lives in Canada, doesn't he?
I don't know, brother.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he lives in Canada. And a lot of totalitarian things going on there in Canada. When kids look up to the great scientists the way they do to great musicians and actors, civilization will jump to the next level. And that's by Brian Greene. What a comment that is.
It's a good quote, though, isn't it?
That is a good comment.
It is a good quote because it's right. Because even the Bible, which is nothing more than an instruction manual for our controllers to keep us in check.
The template.
It is. It's just the instruction manual to keep us entertained.
Yes.
And they recreate what's in that Bible time and time again to keep us going round and round in circles, believing.
There's a revelation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, false idols is what our kids are looking up to.
Yeah.
And TV's done a jolly good job on, wasn't it?
It certainly has.
It's told a vision.
Yeah.
It's told a vision. A vision of Set. A teleported vision of Set from the sky that used to be the story from the stars. Which leads us to the gods themselves.
Yeah.
Whether you and I believe it, it doesn't matter. But as our journey continues, do you not feel that we're being pushed a little bit towards... Are we meant to be here? Have we been seeded?
Yeah.
Because everything we do is opposite to what everything else does.
Yeah.
We just don't have any regard for the Earth. And I'm not talking about you and I.
As a collective.
But this is just a pirate's existence. To plunder.
Yeah.
To plunder the Earth and its resources, regardless of consequence. And they get us to pay for the consequence.
As you were saying earlier, we're the only ones, the human species are the only ones that don't seem to fit within the planet. Aren't we? Are we really the aliens? Is this the alien invasion?
I will take no convincing that it's possible.
And just going back to that situation there, where we're at school longer and longer now, and that was one of the tools that they've used over the years of raising the school leaver age. This isn't a new thing.
No.
It's been done over the years to fiddle figures and an all-encompassing illusion that things are getting better.
But it's mummy and daddy, isn't it?
Yes.
The state have taken over mummy and daddy's jobs.
And you, as that clip said, you've no backbone. You've got to get out there and do something. But this nanny state that we live in, this system, is that akin to what you were saying earlier about the human species is the only one that we take. We're in 9 months in the womb anyway for a kick-off.
But we'll learn it. We're born helpless.
And we're born absolutely helpless.
We seem to have virtually no instincts at all.
No.
It's only when you and I clocked over 40 years old that we started to even feel
exactly
that we were remembering who the hell we were. We started to say, this doesn't feel like I'm learning it. It feels like I should have known it.
Yes.
That was the difference.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, does this feel like you're remembering something?
And I didn't get it at first.
But remember is to put back together.
It is, of course, yeah.
Dismember is to take apart. Remember is to put back together.
Yeah.
And that's how it felt to me. And I remember saying, I'm learning stuff I didn't know, but I think I should have known it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the early days. A lot of that now I've put to one side. Because the way this trading system works, the way we can trade with each other and do business, has been set up for us through the person. Now, I know the freemen see that as a con and a scam, and why weren't we told? But I understand how they had to do it. They had to give us a position to deal in the world of work. Before then, we were just slaves. We were just slaves to the system. We were slaves to our owners. And it wasn't like 1837 or something like that slavery was abolished? And a new system was brought in. And they had to give us a new system, but we had to have the necessary documentation to work in it. There was no it wasn't hidden what was being done to us. We had the necessary documentation and social security number, but ID numbers, so we could do business with those that were already doing business, and obviously be taxed appropriately as well. Slavery never went away; it just evolved. Slavery's here today. If you say, "Please, sir, could I have a job?" and what is it you'll pay me, and what do I have to do? Tell me how different that is to slavery itself. You can now choose who you beg to, but still you will beg. Nothing has really changed, except your perception of who you are. You've decided that you are powerful, independent, responsible, successful. Good. But are you really? Because the person who pays you, should they deny you that wage so you can war with everybody else, then whose bitch are you? You go running back to mummy and daddy, the bank of mum and dad, the social safety network. It's not called a nanny state because politicians don't like nannies. It's called a nanny state because politicians have been brought up by bloody nannies.
It is,
There is no sentence we can say that fixes anything that is going on, except find out who you are. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending. Stop depending. And stop speaking in a way that's offensive. We had to learn the hard way, and so will everybody else listening. Because that's the only way you learn. And that is mirrored in what we've said earlier. Shall we make our kids' lives easier, or shall we make them harder? Well, that's up to each parent.
It is, unfortunately, it is. It's up to you to...
It's up to you.
Discernment, isn't it?
You decide.
And unfortunately, there are too many people now blaming the schools And this really annoys me when you blame.
It's ridiculous,
when
isn't it?
You're asking for all this you are the parent.
Transparency.
Yeah, the transparent.
The other side of parent.
The other side of parent.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing now. Transparent this system is.
Yeah, and they said it was going to become more transparent.
Oh, they did. They knew what they were talking about.
They did know exactly.
We
what
just
they were
don't hear
talking
it.
No.
We don't hear it. We never understand that in history, the language of the slaves and the language of our controllers was different.
Mm.
And because they wanted to educate us and communicate with us and employ us directly, they had to give us a language that was a dual language.
Mm.
In other words, not only does it have two different meanings, but it made us fight.
Yeah.
And we have a perfect language that has been designed over 200 years and given to us in the King James in 1604. A dual language that makes us fight.
Yeah.
It is written by an intelligence that I would not be able to describe to you.
No.
I don't have the words to how to describe it, but I know it exists.
The very word duel is a fight.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So
it is.
And it, as soon as we're born into the world, it is a fight. And the differentiations.
Who dares wins this game is.
Yes, it is.
It's who dares wins.
And people that dismiss the Darwinian thing and the eugenics thing, and of course it's Darwinian, of course it's eugenics, of course it's survival of the fittest, and you've got to embrace that. You've got to take it on board and accept it. It's a lot about acceptance.
It doesn't mean they're right. It's what we've got to deal with.
It is. Deal with it.
I mean, is evolution correct? We don't know. No. Is survival of the fittest the correct way to do this? We don't know.
No.
It's what we live in. Accept it and deal with it.
Yeah.
If you don't, you'll always have what you've always got, which is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're okay with nothing, then I don't mind. If you're living off other people's money, then be okay with it, but don't moan about it. I mean, don't knock the people that are paying your bills. I have a real problem with that.
Yeah.
And that is what's going to bring down a lot of people who innocently think they're trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be brought down by the fact that they're criticising a system that is allowing them to live.
Yeah.
They're actually going to bring upon themselves an entire populace that say, why should we pay them?
Mm.
When all they're doing is bitching and moaning and whinging.
Mm-hmm.
They won't work and they can't shut up saying how the world should be.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth are we paying them for?
Yeah.
It's not me saying that.
No.
It's what you're creating by acting the way you are.
It's the society.
You're making it.
The building.
You're making it. You're actually. We thought this activist truth type association.
Well, I was hoping it was a load of doers like us.
Yeah, but I thought it was where the intelligence was.
Mm.
It's nothing
It's
of the
nothing
sort.
of the sort. No.
It's where the dumbest of the dumb, the slowest of the slow, the laziest of the laziest live.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't shut up, can they?
No, they're looking for
Yap,
excuses.
yap.
It's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of
And
the
you
New
say,
World
okay,
Order, it's because
okay,
of the Catholics.
Let's have a look
Yeah.
at this dog pound that you're in.
Because of the Club of Rome.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look at this dog pound that you're all in. You yap all day. I'm going to take your collar off and let you go out for the day and feed yourself and find yourself something. Go on, off you go. Oh, I'll maybe go tomorrow. Not today, thanks very much.
Mm. When's tea time?
They're a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of cowards, that's what they really are. They're yap. They don't want to work, they're not going to work, they're not going to produce, and they're not going to give you anything of value that you can actually use and take into the world, because all they're doing is copying what somebody else has told them that they wanted to hear, that fits in with their view of the future, that allows them to continue doing exactly what they're doing, free of charge. It took a long time for us to get there, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And
Well,
now
we
know.
had faith, we had hope, didn't we?
We did. And we've invested so much time and effort that now we know we're wrong.
We knew we were wrong. Yeah,
We knew.
We did.
We almost knew from the first day, but we never admitted to each other.
No, it was, again, selling yourself another illusion.
Yeah.
Another dream to hang on to.
I know. In this crazy world that we live, and it is crazy, but it's the world that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It's created by people who want it to be this way so they can win.
Yeah.
It's all based on varying levels of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
How much you can get away with, and who it is you connect it to, and how much are they getting away with.
Yeah.
It's a building with lots of floors in it.
Yes, it
And that's
certainly is.
FLAWS.
Yeah.
And the most people work at the bottom, and the least number work at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way as you elevate,
Looking for the lift.
yeah, they're looking for the lift. As you become enlightened,
Yeah.
float to the top, whatever.
Yeah. You don't want to use the stairs. You want the lift.
You see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
The word people at the bottom know the least
Mm-hmm.
and want the most, and the people at the top know the most, but they don't have the least, do they?
No.
Least. What a word that is. Least. It's to borrow, isn't it? Least is to borrow.
Mm.
All fits in, doesn't it?
It does.
Brave, crave, brave, and grave.
Yes.
We all want to be the superhero before we die.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Not realising that the superhero's inside yourself.
Oh, we do.
That-
Crave, brave, and grave.
yeah.
Yeah, we do. Hollywood's programme that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Prince and Princess Disney programming makes us want to be.
It does, yeah.
But it's only because they know who we are.
They know
They
so
know.
well. Yeah.
I'll save
All
you,
these
Olive.
songs that have
I'll
been written.
save you,
yeah.
Olive.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know is right in front of your eyes. It's not hidden. It's just
It
that you
isn't.
can't see it.
No, you've
You
not bothered
can't
to look
see
for
it.
it.
Another Tuesday, and out of all the times that we've spoken about what is going to make the difference, I've come to the conclusion that this little clip sums it up. My name's Paul,
My name's Andy.
and this has been the Unpenned Show for Tuesday, the 1st of July, 2014. Thanks for listening right to the end.
Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Calvin Coolidge, 1933.